Welcome. Today is TGIF Friday, December 30th, 2022. Today we continue our discussion on the origins of the universe, okay? So you have Adoni, the evolutionist, for the origins of the universe, and you have the scientists and the physicists that reverted back to creationism. Okay, they create the universe. Okay, even though most scientists and college graduates and physicists are evolutionists with respect to Darwin. Okay, so from the atomic level and chemical reactions in our ocean, 99% of scientists and physicists, if you ask them, did we evolve from amoebas? They're going to say that human beings evolved from the single cell animal, the amoeba, okay, in our oceans. So now it did take 400 million years, okay? So where do we come from also depends on how far back you want to go. You know, how far humanoids have been in existence, a couple million years, okay? So a couple million years out of 4,000 million years, it's a small part of the lifespan of Earth that human beings have been on Earth, or mammals. I'm not even sure how far mammals go back. They may go back several hundred million years. So, okay, so Adoni is an evolutionist. So, and once physicists discover the proton, the electron, and the neutron, okay, they became creationists, okay? So what's the difference, okay? Well, a creationist has an all-powerful being or an all-powerful inanimate object that creates everything visible and invisible. Okay, or in the case with God, the all-powerful God, in the Judeo-Christian religion, he made everything visible and invisible in 6 days, and I think he made women on the sixth day, and then he rested. So what the physicists, the story that physicists tell you is that this all-powerful, omnipotent singularity in an instant let loose this energy that's spread out throughout the universe, creating both matter and antimatter particles. Okay, then they say, we do not know. Okay, these physicists believe in symmetry. They believe that if you pull a particle out, you have to pull an antiparticle. It's some weird conservation law that they're into, okay? But they believe in symmetry, okay? And they have not changed their belief, even though their postulate means that matter can never evolve. We can never have one more proton than we have an antiproton, and they're going to annihilate each other, okay? So you have several miracles here. One, pulling a proton and an antiproton out of vacuum in pairs, okay? So you have energy, and this energy out of nothing creates a proton and an antiproton. And then they postulated this Higgs boson that supposedly gels energy into matter, Okay, so you have one miracle after another. I mean, when you start, you can't. The most amount of energy that can be permanently contained in a vessel. Okay, the neutron and the proton can hold permanently up to 1 GeV of energy. Okay, that's the most that can be held in one container. And then they miss the point that that particles are containers, and they have, and that this energy is in the form of a compressed God particle 1 Aether particle. You say, what is a GP1 Aether particle? Well, since it was decided that the singularity magically released all the energy, and time began, and this Higgs boson helped pull matter and antimatter particles out of vacuum, which immediately annihilated each other. Okay, so they have to tweak that. They tweak it a little bit and say, in the early universe, out of every million or every billion pairs of protons, antiprotons pulled out of vacuum, there was one extra proton, and that's how we ended up with all the matter in the universe. Okay, so by doing this postulate, by giving the universe a beginning, an arbitrary beginning of 14 billion years ago, they have to keep ignoring things that show that the universe is infinitely old, and it's self-sustaining, that our universe is going to go on forever. So when you make one mistake in the foundation of a theory, then you have to add more impossible, magical, science fiction things to make that theory work. And every time you get something new, you get evidence like the CMBR, then you say that the CMBR is left over from the Big Bang. But that's impossible, because the Big Bang is given as a singularity. If there was such a thing, then there would be the brightest spot in the sky, would be the singularity. Okay, we do not have a brightest spot. What we have is a reflection of all the energy produced by all the stars and black holes and everything in the universe. All that energy is reflected an infinite number of times from the edges of the universe, and that's how we get an omnidirectional cosmic microwave radiation ray from every point in space. Every point in the edges of the universe reflects back to us a ray. Okay, rays, light rays, we know, go from the source out. So if there was a singularity, that singularity would still be there. Okay, or light from that singularity would come to us just as it does from a star. But the CMBR comes from every point in space, which means that it comes from it's a reflection from the edges of the universe. And from the Hubble flow, we know that the universe could be up to 28 billion light years across. So if light waves, or not if, as light waves bounce back and forth from the edges of the universe, eventually the reflection, the X-rays and the radio waves, they harmonize to the CMBR at 160.3 gigahertz. So every point in the sky reflects to us a certain amount of energy, homogenized energy made by all the light sources in the universe over infinite time. Okay, but just as maybe half the people of the world are creationists versus evolutionists for, creationist, the God made heaven and earth and everything visible and invisible, okay? It's going to be hard for me to argue an evolutionist story for nucleons, for protons, antiprotons, and electrons, because they have the media, they have the textbooks, okay? And they don't even understand that it's a contradiction. They don't even understand that at the very small and the very large, scientists are creationists, while at the atomic level, chemical reaction level in our oceans, they're creationists for life on Earth. So, okay, enough of that. So, how does Adoni, the physics guy, explain the origins of his God particle one? It's there. Okay, it has to be there. We're here. Okay. So, how does the story go? I am, therefore you are. You, anyone listening to me, is not a fiction of my imagination. This computer in front of me, this Samsung phone taking this picture, is not a fiction of my imagination. There are other people in the world, and they made it, and they have different ideas, and we're here to debate the different ideas to see what's possible and what's not possible. So it's not possible that everything visible and invisible evolved from a singularity. And it is possible that we evolved from phospholipids and protein chains that made single cell plants that evolved to single cell animal amoebas, and those amoebas evolved to fish, and they evolved to plankton. The single cell plants evolved to plankton, and they evolved to grass and trees, and the amoebas evolved to fish, reptiles, mammals, birds, human beings. So here we are. Okay, we're the end product of the evolution of single cell plants to amoebas. We're the end product of the animalistic amoebas. So here we are. Now, in a similar fashion, we can only detect the electron neutrino. That's the lowest mass permeable sac that can permanently, indestructible, that can permanently hold both mass and energy. Okay, that's what a particle is. It can permanently hold both mass and energy. And there are only 4 particles that can permanently hold both mass and energy. There's the neutron. And when the neutron decays, the neutron permeable sac decays. It decays into indestructible permeable sac. Well, it decays to an indestructible proton sac, and it decays into an indestructible electron sac. And from those 2 particles that make up hydrogen, then you can form a star, and that star, through hydrogen fusion, can make helium, and then helium can make the other elements can build on helium in the center of the stars if the cloud is large enough. okay? So we know that we evolved from hydrogen, and we evolved from stars that produced iron and black holes and neutron stars that merged and produced uranium and those products, okay? So more likely than not, the universe is infinitely old. Okay, you can't build a supermassive black hole in 300 million years. You can't believe this, physicist. Okay, can't be done. You have to understand that a supermassive black hole is much older than a stellar black hole. Okay, you can't have a stellar black hole 13 billion years old and a supermassive black hole 13.5 billion years old. It's not possible. You need infinite time to make a supermassive black hole. Okay, so my favorite subject, the God particle one, the GP1, okay? Now it can't be measured, okay? Now the photon, it has to be the medium for electromagnetic waves. Now we define the GP1 to be about a quintillionth, the mass of the electron, okay? So a quintillionth, okay, so if we go a millionth from the mass of the electron, we end up with the electron neutrino. And if we go a millionth smaller in mass from the electron neutrino, then we end up with the God particle 1, GP1. Now that is just an approximation. We do not know how far particles of mass go. We just know that they are lower, much, much lower than the electron neutrino that has a mass of 0.5 MeV. Okay, so MeV is a very small amount of energy. Physicists measure mass in terms of the energy that's released when the particle, if an indestructible particle annihilates itself with its antiparticle, okay? Now, that brings up an interesting point, okay? So you may ask, if embryonic neutrons are emitted inside stars, if neutronium in a neutron star is made up of embryonic neutrons, very cold, that when pumped up with GP1s by the energetic GP1s from the cosmic microwave background radiation, you pump them up, you implode GP1s. So if you have one solar mass of neutronium, you could end up with 18 solar masses of hydrogen. Okay, so the pristine hydrogen in our universe is continually being regenerated. Okay, what they call a dead star, a white dwarf, a neutron star remnant, black hole remnant. Okay, and a black hole remnant is just a neutron star, is the neutronium of a neutron star that has more than 2.16 solar masses. So the minimum size discovered for a black hole is about 3.0 solar masses of neutronium. So black holes have neutronium inside, and black holes will eventually evaporate. They have minus energy. So as they warm up, once they don't accrete, as black holes warm up from the cosmic microwave background radiation, the embryonic neutronium in there is going to get pumped up to a neutron. And once that neutron frees itself from the neutronium ball in the center of a black hole or a star, then that neutronium ball that neutron is going to decay to pristine new hydrogen. Okay, so even though a lot of protons and electrons are destroyed with positron collisions and anti-proton collisions, there's still more made. So it's like a balance, okay? And it's a balance with the cosmic web, okay? The dipole repeller was found in 2017. So from that, we can deduce that voids are high GP1 Aether pressure systems, and planets, solar systems, galaxies are low GP1 Aether pressure systems. And we have the same on Earth. And these are low GP1 Aether pressures powered by heat, and high GP1 Aether pressures powered by cold, just as on Earth. On Earth, hurricanes, low GP1, low air pressure system are formed at the equator from heat and get more energy as they go over hot water. And then at the North Pole and the South Pole, you get these polar vortexes. High GP1 Aether pressure systems, high air pressure systems, okay? Losing my voice again. We'll take it up later today and or maybe tomorrow. Talk more later. Have a wonderful day. Bye.